logic is only safe when it's applied to an objective language, where everything is, in a sense, concretely defined. Now, most of the things that really matter to us are subjective, especially our view of reality, what words mean, and so on. And they're all associated with an emotive connotations like good, bad, praiseworthy, unpraiseworthy, condemnation, commendation, right, wrong, and so forth. And that's the words we're using because of the entities that they refer to are not concrete physical realities. In other words, you can apply logic to physical science in as far as physical science is reliably unambiguous in its definition of each of the terms it's using and so on, and objects and so forth. And then, of course, we go a bit further, and I'm going further, and I'm saying that reality, as we see it, is extremely subjective, not because of something inherent in reality, but something inherent in us. We are subjective, and we function on the experience of the use of words that we've had and the way we've seen them, the way we use them in relation to each other. And each of us is individual in that way. And it's extremely hard for us to communicate. We very easily get the impression that we are not on the same page. And in a sense, we're not, because, well, it's hard to say, because we just can't communicate the page we're on in a way that the listener will receive it reliably from our perspective. And so we get nowhere. Love is not like that. Love and relationships, fellowship is, I see something in you that I relate to, and it's a sort of identity, and I think, I don't want you to suffer in this way. I know what that's like, or I can imagine what that's like. In fact, I can only imagine it from my experience and perspective, but I feel this concern for you. And there's no rationalization going on. Or if there is, it's not having much impact on my behavior. My behavior is being driven by this sort of heart reaction where I'm feeling something about you as the entity that I see you as, and how that is depends majorly on signals that I interpret in the way that I do. So you can say something that upsets me, or you can say something that confirms the lovely view I might have of you, say, And what we're doing in godliness is we're holding to a reality that's not proved. We're holding to a reality that we want to hold to, and we don't know why. It's not that it's not affected by our past reasoning, of course it is, but it's a past reasoning within an incredibly subjective dimension. It's not that cold, scientific, pragmatic, objective analysis that we're constantly using to check whether your view of reality is as good as mine, or valid or invalid compared to mine. And of course, there's no end to that. You get absolutely nowhere, and you come away, well, certainly not uplifted, or you might be fooling yourself that at last I found a soul that thinks the way I do, but you'll find down the road that you get contradictory signals coming in by what they're saying and doing, and in different circumstances to what you had seen them in the past or in the present. So it's not at all satisfactory. Really, I do, and I'm doing it here. I'm engaged in intellectualism, aren't I? I'm analysing the situation. But to really speak into your life, I need almost sort of aphorisms, simple text, love one another. It's not proved or anything else, but what I'm really saying is, does this appeal to you or not? Is this something that you want to reach out to or not? Those who have ears to hear, let them hear. I'm not proving that loving one another is either possible, advisable. I'm not proving anything. It isn't a proof. It's something that if I proclaim it, it either rings something in you that triggers a response, and that response could be quite ambiguous. Not what I expected. You thought I was just manipulating you in saying this. I'm out to exploit you. I'm out to dominate. My notion of love is complete submission, is to simply acquiesce in what the other person wants to do. The whole thing is graphically unstable as regards its meaning and its coincidence of meaning in both the speaker and the hearer and the way they receive it. It's not what experiencing the devotion to God is about. I can be singing words that are not true in a hymn or a Christian song, and I'm transported in an earnestness of devotion that's nothing to do, in a sense, with the words. A bit like the way poetry can, there's a run of words and they simply have the right emotive response to me, and I'm lifted and I'm loving God again, and that's what I wanted. And so often arguments on principle and so on, and truth and dogma, theology, or whatever it is, are so empty compared to that. I can be singing a song that I don't even believe in, but somehow I feel the intensity of the earnest devotion that perhaps people of the last 200 years have experienced. Or I'm imagining it, of course, you might say, and that you could well be right. But I'm transported, I'm lifted. I too am loving God. Sure, I'm loving my God in my understanding of it and in my way. But it's fantastic, and I'm so glad. And it's not what intellectual analysis and argument and discussion and Bible study and sermons and so on, they touch me not necessarily much at all. Whereas the testimony from this lady who's in tears, and I'm there with her, in my understanding of being there with her. My whole being is transported after congregations in tears. And that's what counts. Love you, Lord. Love you. I have a great desire to love and care for all that you love and care for. And I find that that's what I did love and care for, even before I was so aware of you and just longing to love you too. Love you, Heavenly Father. You are my God, and I will own no other. Don't know why you've given or how you've given me my view of you, but I just love you for it. Can I bless other people in the same way? I'm not sure. I can encourage them to a situation, I suppose, where that's what's meaningful to them. I'm not asking for some direct correspondence. I just want them to know the sheer joy of loving their God and the transcendence that comes from worship, I suppose, oneness with, just to be in the company of, just to be thinking of, is wonderful. Love you, Heavenly Father. Thank you so much. I don't know if this is an intellectual solution to the problem or a bypassing of the intellectual, and it's some other spiritual reality, but I just love you for it, Lord. Loving you. Amen. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Your presence is heaven to me, and I do want all life to experience that loveliness. It's that important to me. It's hit me as that profound, fantastic. It's, more miraculous than the miraculous. Much more personal and much deeper. And I would that all experienced it. Yeah. Love you, Lord. Thank you, Heavenly Father.